Hey everyone, how you doing? Back with more junk. Um, just really glad that people are enjoying the music. Really glad that I can share it with you. Um, this video here is a response to Chris Astral Traveler's request. He asked if I would show some of my Italian prog, and even as I'm sitting here, I'm realizing things I forgot. I'll just say first off, Chris, I don't have nearly what I wish I had on vinyl. There is a ton of Italian prog that I love. I have much more of it on CD. I got a bunch on burn, and then there's just a ton of it I don't have that I wish I had. Some of the absolute cornerstones of Italian prog too. I don't own them. That stuff is hard to come by and it's expensive. I'll show what I have dug up this morning. I do have more. Just like with the creation video, I have more than I showed. Someone left a comment on my Creation Records, what? No Primal Scream? No Teenage Fan Club? I'd just like to point out, friend, I hope you're a friend, that I said I didn't show everything that I have on Creation. I have a bunch of Primal Scream. I do only have one title by Teenage Fan Club, but you know, I'm maturing, so rather than get, bothered by it, it's just clarify the situation. You know, I told you I didn't show everything. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I am trying to make a point and try to set some. I'm trying to make a point a lot of the times, but I'm also telling you that I'm learning as I go. I'm growing up in public, so there will be inconsistencies. I want to say this, Chris, before I show my records to you, that I am learning about the sensitivity of the world and how everything you says has a boomerang effect. So I'm very opinionated, but I am going to be more careful in how I express it because I want this to be understood. Even if I don't like your music, I would like you as a person most likely, okay? And if I had a chance to meet you in person, I would never disrespect you to your face. If I say your music sucks in one of my videos, if I happen to meet you, I would I would say it nicer, you know. And the thing is, I'm talking about the music, not the person. I'm not putting a person down, so I'm not having people stopping by and leaving me comments that seem disrespectful. Just understand that. I had an exchange with another person, and he clarified where he was coming from, and I got, oh, you're right. Cool, man. Cool. Yeah. That's all, if we're friends, we can talk. But somebody stopping by with negative energy, oh no, I'm not having it, okay? I don't need any more abuse. I don't need any enemies. I don't need no shit from anybody. And I'm not giving any shit to anybody. With that, I'm going to show these records for Astral Traveler. Chris, sorry you had to sit through that, but man, I think you understand. I'm speaking not just for me, but for other people, okay? We really need to treat each other decently. We can do it, okay? We can do it. And I'll say it again, even though it's tough to handle differences of opinion, we can do it, okay? Understand, once again, I got to say this one more time for clarity, that I'm human and I'm inconsistent. Just because I diss Nirvana and then I say I like a band that doesn't play as well as Nirvana, I can do that. It's my opinion. Please try to understand. Try to not take it personally. I'm not attacking your taste. I'm not. Try to learn that. I'm learning it too. We have differences in how we're built and what we perceive, and that's fine, okay? So please, please try to understand that if I say something about a band that you like that I don't like, I'm not talking about you. I'm not. Okay, here we go, Chris. These are some of the ones that I pulled. Lucio Battisti, as you know, is a little bit more on the pop side, but his music is very dynamic and it pulls from all genres. Pop, psychedelia, prog, folk. Lucio Battisti, if I understand, was, maybe still is, a household name in Italy. I have two of his albums. Egea. This is another one of his. This is real sweet, actually. Really, really sweet. For the sake of time, I'm not going to open these. We've talked about this. I wish I could find their other albums, but I love this. Il Baricentro Sconcerto. This is just what I like. It's just a nice mix of fusion jazz, prog, and library music. I love library music. Matter of fact, oh, I can't do it. I put it away, damn it. I've been listening to Sven Lebeck. Solar Flares. Fantastic. Gli Alluminogeni, Scolopendra. Now, this is kind of an odd album. I read up about it, and it's like by this keyboardist here. This guy was showing his belly. Apparently, he had some money. He's a keyboardist, and he wanted to make a record, probably trying to attract women. So this record is all over the place. It's a bit of a mess of an album. But is it progressive? Yeah. It just doesn't really make a lot of sense from track to track. Acqua Fragile. The lead singer of this band went on to the second version of PFM after he left this band. I can almost say his name, Lanzetti, I think. This is good stuff. Definitely prog. Total prog. Excellent. I just made me think of something else I forgot. See, I just got a ton of records. I forgot Mainstream over here with Patrick Moraz. He's Swiss, but he was in an Italian band for a while. I've shown this a few times because I've recently found it or bought it on vinyl. Corte dei Miracoli. This is excellent. You just have to ignore some of the cheesy vocals, in my opinion, cheesy. Maybe if I was Italian, I'd be different. But the sound of the vocals, to me, distracts. The music is excellent. Top-notch. Top-notch. On the level of things like Genesis. It's excellent music. Truly, truly, this is excellent. Let's keep going. Another excellent keyboard-based Italian band. I mean, those guys had it on lock, as they say. I got it on lock, y'all. The Italians, when they decided to do it, they did it up. Latte e miel. I think this is milk, tea, milk and honey. Coffee and milk. Papillon. Excellent. When this band started, the drummer, the guy in the middle, was only 17. That's why he looks like a kid, because he was. Excellent drummer. Excellent band. Latte e miel. I'd love to have more of those on vinyl. I've got more on CD. Just showing the vinyl. This, to me, is a classic of Italian progressive rock. A must-hear. Osanna's Palepoli. There's a one long-sided track. It's a suite. It's very folk, Italian folk in its base of music, but it's so vibrant and alive. It's like going to the market square on a very busy, bustling, especially busy, wonderful day. That's what it's like listening to that. This is fantastic. I have another Osanna. What's the name of this one? Landscape of Life. And it just reminded me of another Italian band that I didn't pull. Nova. Because some of these guys went on to start the band Nova, as you know, Chris. This is good stuff. Matter of fact, there are some vintage Osanna videos on YouTube. Amazing stuff that I discovered in the last couple years here on YouTube. Just amazing. Here's the first thing I found by Osanna years ago in the cutouts in the dollar. One of those records that was completely misunderstood here in America and was just tossed in the trash immediately. And this is excellent. Milano Calibro 9. Excellent. Another Italian classic band that goes back to the pop days of the 60s. The same lineup. Le Orme. Contrapunti is one of the few. I've had other records of theirs. Don't know where they are. Like Felona e Sorona. I had it. Where is it? It's not here. I don't think I sold that. But here's Le Orme live. Same lineup, I believe. They're still going today as older fellas, older than me. The very same lineup. Amazing. Another fantastic. Why aren't you hearing about this album? Raccomandata ricevuta ritorno. That's got to be close. Maybe not. Fabulous. And I understand this band got back together in the 2000s and made another album, which I would like to find. Keyboard oriented, erratic, crazy writing and playing. Love it. Zappa-ish, but not. Okay, we're getting into these guys. Were discovered by, or not discovered by, but were given a big leg up by Emerson, Lake and Palmer when they got signed to Emerson, Lake and Palmer's label. I'm talking about PFM, Premiata Forneria Marconi, named after a very famous Italian bakery. This is one of their first albums and original copy. Storia di un minuto. This is fantastic. Next we have, this is another Italian pressing. This album and the one I just showed, they mixed up songs from these two for the American release of Photos of Ghosts. Fantastic band. Here's the Italian version of The World Became the World, L'isola di Niente. L'isola di Niente in Italian. And the music is different versions than what they put out in America, completely different versions of the music. It's excellent to compare them. Excellent, excellent. Love this band, Premiata Forneria Marconi. Bellissimo! And here's the American version, The World Became the World. This is one, for years you would find it just dumped into the dollar bins. People, if you find this, grab it. If you don't get it right away, just settle your ass down and listen. Because this is fantastic music. This was their American debut, not their first album, but Photos of Ghosts. This was the one that was put out. I'll open this one because this one was the one that started to open doors for them. I saw them on Hollywood Palace, which was like an Ed Sullivan show, a variety show on TV. Saw them live on that. Amazing. They were amazing. It was amazing to see a band like this on American television, kicking complete ass. They were mind-blowing on television. Would have loved to have seen these guys live. I understand PFM is still intact, or has been up to until recently. You know, the years creep up on us. But for the most part, the band was intact. You know, the core members stayed together. PFM Cook live, fantastic. Sparks fly from this performance. It's not necessarily the greatest recording, but the performance. These guys were on fire, and you find this everywhere. I still see this. Matter of fact, I did buy some extra copies. I've given them away. If I find more, I'll be buying them for 50 cents a buck. Make sure some of y'all get these. Chocolate Kings, another great album. This is the one where they had where they changed singers. Bernardo Lanzetti became the new lead singer, who was originally with Acqua Fragile. I really like this album, Chocolate Kings. It has a different cover. The Italian version has a different cover. Two more PFMs, and this is where I stop on the Italian today. I have more, though. Jet Lag. I bought it when it came out, sold it, and picked this crappy, beat-up copy. The vinyl's okay. I'd like to replace this with a good one with a good cover as well. Good album. You know, I'm fickle. Again, oh shit, I got a bunch more. Actually, no. Okay, we're gonna keep going. I don't mind admitting that I'm human and that I'm not perfect and that I'm inconsistent. Unlike a lot of people, you know, I'm gonna keep saying this, that I'm not down with the front. I'm not down with people trying to front like they're all cool. It's one thing to have swag and present yourself. But to be phony about it, I ain't down with that, okay? You know what I'm saying? There's inconsistencies, you know. And so what brings it up is the fact that I love this band PFM, love this album. But when I first bought it, I thought it kind of stunk. Compared to the other stuff, my appreciation for it has grown in retrospect. It's not a sign of weakness or shittiness or crap or low. It's just not a bad thing to change your mind. Okay, PFM. What's the name of this one? Passepartout. And again, even though this is one of their later albums, which is still, this is old now. They put out a bunch of records. The consistency of their writing. This is 1978, so it's old as hell. It's still high. A few more, actually. Reverberate. He was in, I believe, either Les Ormes or one of those major bands, either Les Ormes or Museo Rosenbach. That's another one. See, Museo Rosenbach, I've got it on burn. I can never find that on vinyl for less than $150 to $200. I'm not going there. But I think this guy was in that band, and this is great. Acqua Fragile, you got this, I'm sure. Andre Ceccarelli. I believe this guy's an Italian drummer. As you see, I had to buy it from a radio station. Had it when it first came out. Once again, one of those stories. This is a good album on Inner City. Another giant of Italian rock, Banco del Mutuo Soccorso. This is the one that came out in America. Yes, that really is their singer. He was a huge operatic singer. Huge voice. I have that one, and I have one other, Garofano Rosso. This is a soundtrack. Beautiful. Banco del Mutuo Soccorso. Beautiful music. I have about 8 of their albums total in my collection. Just that's all I have on vinyl. This is a monster. Il Balletto di Bronzo. YS. This one is edgy, like King Crimson. And the vocals are really edgy, like a perfect example of the kind of vocals where it's like, okay, this is pretty much over the top, but the music deserves it. This is one where it's all good. I'm going to open this. This is a classic. Any Italian people watching that know this music even better than I? Am I telling the truth about this? Isn't this considered one of the finest progressive rock albums to ever come out of Italy? Il Balletto di Bronzo. YS. They got back together in the 2000s. This record is fantastic. I'm just showing that it has a booklet. It's on the incomparable Polydor label, as is a lot of progressive rock from many different countries. A lot of great music is on the Polydor label. The label that is so huge for so long, got such deep pockets that they can just blow that money and try things and still survive. And thank goodness they did, you know. I don't know if he's still on it, but for a while, Bright Eyes was on Polydor internationally. I wonder if that was just a one-album deal or what. Excuse me. Arti and Mestieri, Giro di Valzer per Domani. I don't know what it means. Something about dance or ballet. Led by the drummer. I gotta look at this name because this guy is a monster. It's a very unusual style. Furio Chirico. Furio Chirico. He is, I believe, recognized in Italy as the monster drummer he is. Very fast, kind of very busy style. Fantastic. And music to match. And I have one other. I've shown these before. Quinto Stato, Arti e Mestieri. I'd like to get more of their albums on vinyl. I have more. And so I do have their music. I've got the music. I love having the artifacts though. The last records that these are the last Italian records I'll show, which is Area. As I said, Chris, I've got more over here. And I just thought of 3. Now I thought of another one that I didn't pull. More to come. But this is the Italian band Area that was led by the late Demetrio Stratos, who had a vocal style similar to the American jazz singer Leon Thomas. The yodely thing, amazing. These guys are incredible musicians, somewhere between prog, jazz, free jazz, and rock. Just fantastic. Highly recommend. what I'd like to say definitively right now, for you folks that have been getting into krautrock, it's time for you to get over into some Italian progressive rock, okay? You want to hear the best music in the world, especially when we're talking about the history of the best music in rock. In my opinion, remember, for my taste, ain't dissing nobody. This is a whole particular school of music unrelated to, say, like heavy metal or hard rock or blues rock, okay? This is a whole genre in of itself, and within that school, this is some of the finest music. You really need to hear it. Gli se ne vanno, gli arrabbiate restano. Area, 1978, just a kick-ass album. Kick-ass. Area, Event 76. Good grief, people. Maledetti. This is another one of their just signature albums. Maledetti. Maledetti. My Italian sucks, but I'm telling you, these guys got me woke up just talking about them. Every one of these albums is bomb, people. Crack. Shit, this album is killer. Look it up right now on YouTube. Go and find some tunes. There's videos of them performing on here. Excuse me. Find out for yourself. I ain't bullshitting. This music is dope. Eriazioni. Most of these are gatefolds. I'm already at 21 minutes. This is what I'm showing Chris. I got a bunch more, to be honest. Arbeit macht free. I haven't showed you a dud yet. But remember to put it into context. This is not metal. This is not pop. This is not shoegaze. We're talking about music that's in the area of progressive rock, complex rock, jazz, free jazz, contemporary classical even. Dope. Okay, Chris, enjoy.